Hello YouTube, welcome to this fine day, and today we are going to have a look at Ragavan Nimble Pilferer in Historic Brawl. This deck aims to win by playing mono-red aggro, just like turn 1 Ragavan into turn 2, whatever 2-drop you have, curving out and then just finishing them off with burn spells later on. So, Ragavan, arguably the best 1-drop creature ever printed in Magic the Gathering, has arrived on Arena, and it is glorious. So for everybody who doesn't know Ragavan, he is a 1-mana 2/1 legendary monkey pirate, so that already qualifies him as a strong, really, like basically the best mono-red commander on Arena. But wait, there is more. Whenever Ragavan deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token, okay, and then exile the top card of that player's library. You may cast that card until end of turn. Notably, you still have to pay the colored cost, but that gets mitigated by the fact that you do get treasures from Ragavan. So, in one of my test games, actually, I was on the play against a white-black control deck. I played turn 1 Ragavan, they played turn 1 Tapland, I swung in with Ragavan, hit a Curse of Silence off the top, and played it with a treasure, and they were like, yeah, what are we supposed to do? Yeah, we're done here. Yeah. And then the last ability on Ragavan is also very relevant, and that is 2-mana Dash. So Dash is an alternative casting cost, and that just makes it so the creature has haste until the end of turn, but gets returned to your hand at the end of the turn. So what this means for Ragavan is, let's say you play Ragavan, he gets killed later on, board wipe, whatever, and now you have the option of playing him from the command zone for 3 mana or for 4 mana, then dash him, and then at the end of turn return him to hand to get immediate value instead of giving the opponent the chance to interact with Ragavan, which is a really cool option to have. So, as I said before, this is mono-red aggro, and I wanted to specifically win a couple of matchups. First, the mirror match. So we have cards like Goblin Chainwhirler for the mirror match, or things like Molten Impact, which are also really efficient in the mirror match. And then 4-mana Atraxa is also a new commander that's probably going to be really popular. And 4-mana Atraxa is a problem because we need to have something to kill the commander. If we can't, we just lose the game, because it's a 4-mana 4/4 Flying Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink. And they just don't even block our creatures, they just raise us in the air and out-heal us, and that is really, really strong against mono-red life gain specifically. So we have a bunch of cards that deal 4 damage, again, Molten Impact help with that, but you also have cards like Collective Defiance, which are maybe not super efficient. Like, if you can do 2 things with Collective Defiance is obviously good, but like 3 mana for 3 damage to their face baseline isn't exactly amazing. But against 4-mana Atraxa, it is just 4 mana, deal 3 damage to their face and kill that commander and basically win the game. I'm also trying out a couple of neat tech cards with Stone Rain, where if you're on the play with Ragavan and you just go turn 1 Ragavan, hit on turn 2 and then Stone Rain the opponent, some decks just can't recover from that. And yeah, I will, like, the obvious comparison to Stone Rain with just something that deals damage immediately, a haste threat or something along those lines. But yeah, today we're trying Stone Rain, right? Then another topic is in Feldon aggro I used to run more buffs as filler. We got a lot of good cards like Stoke the Flames and Invasion of Regatha as burn spells. So I've cut down on the buff spells. I'm only running Build to Smash. Though another reason why these buffs are bad is because they're just bad in the mirror. Because they're like burn spells, but in the mirror you point the burn spells at their creatures, because creatures are everything in the mirror match. So Build to Smash is literally the only buff we are running in this kind of deck, because it also increases the toughness of our creature by quite a bit. And then one tip I can give you if you want to build Ragavan yourself is don't rely on the commander. So obviously you can rely on the commander being your 1-drop, and that is going to be the case most of the time, right? But you don't want to rely on your commander to stick. So you don't want to do treasure synergies. You don't want to like overload on 3-drops and say, hey, I always connect with Ragavan on 1, so I can just play all these like cards at 3 mana. You don't want to increase your curve because Ragavan isn't really ramp. It's just like temporal mana, just like 1 or 2 mana you cheat, but it isn't really ramp, so you can't increase your curve. And also I wouldn't do that even if like that was permanent ramp because we have plenty of things to do with our mana anyways. So just treat Ragavan as the like insane threat that he is on turn 1, but don't amplify that threat, because if you build your deck around amplifying one threat and then one threat gets answered, you just lose the game. So instead you are relying on Ragavan to force the opponent to take disadvantageous mulligans, force them to remove Ragavan on turn 1, and then you still have a strong deck behind it. And if they can't remove Ragavan, yeah, great, you're just connected with a busted 1-drop. Do I think this deck will get banned? No. Do I think this is one of the best commanders on Arena? Yes, absolutely. I think that answers those questions. The reason why is just like they will put him into Hell Queue before anything else, and honestly he will probably just be really good in Hell Queue as well, but at the same time I think people are more comfortable with other decks, so it will at least take a lot of time for the Ragavan players to play at a level where the card should be banned, at least in Hell Queue. But also, if everybody is good with Ragavan, like, then the opponent's, that means the opponent's average skill also goes up. Like, and that means the people are just packing more interaction. I just like that Ragavan exists now because, like, Eidolon also exists as a premier aggro deck in the format, but now, like, Ragavan is there and he's so in your face that people are just going to respect aggro more. And we do have some really good tools against aggro that people just don't play. And yeah, Ragavan is exactly the thing that punishes like those super greedy piles, and I'm excited for him to be on Arena. So, without further ado, let's play some games of Ragavan. But before we do that, subscribe to the channel. It's greatly appreciated. And you know, like, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff, and join the Discord. The Discord is great. We just discuss decks there, lots and lots of historic Brawl decks. Like, basically every deck I make, I just post there before I make a video on it, or later on I update my lists. So if you liked X deck from like 3 months ago, hey, where is the update? You don't even have to ask me that, right? You can just go into the channel, look at the pins, and then there is the great updated deck that you always wanted. Anyways, let's play some Monkey. We are ready to play against Light Paws, Emperor's Voice, and this matchup is all about, can they make Light Paws big enough? So we have one piece of instant speed removal and then 2 more pieces of removal. I think we can keep this, honestly, like, just based on the 1 instant speed removal spell. And Roiling Vortex is a really great insurance if the opponent gets their lifelink enchantments in. Laydon's Arms, sure, that is fine. So, we actually have a very difficult decision, because if they have a 1 mana protection spell, we just lose the game on the spot, right? If we just play Bomat Courier. So we have to play land, pass the turn, then they play Light Paws, right? Then we Molten, then we pass the torch on Light Paws. Okay, that is fine, I guess. Do we pass the torch? No, we can do it at sorcery speed. Although, oh no. Wait, that is just like way better, right? Because we can Bomat Courier, We just start swinging with Bomat Courier. I would love to have more instant speed interaction, to be honest. The only reason why I'm so confident right now is because of this rolling vortex. So let's see. I just really want to like get in with the Bomat Courier. If they equip the Shadow Spear to the Light Paws, they just say, hey, I don't have protection for Light Paws. Yeah, now they can increase Light Paws toughness by quite a bit, but I think we can. Yeah, we can deal 7 damage. No, like if Light Paws gets too large, we can't do anything. This is really tough. Yeah, maybe we should have mulled for more instant speed interaction, honestly. Okay, cartouches. Perfectly fine. I assume they have some instant speed interaction here. Let's Molten Impact. And then if they have the wow, they didn't have the interaction. That's so great. So we started, like, we could have been like super efficient, and there's just like Molten Impact, like Incendiary Flow, but I just think it's just way better to play a bit more mana efficient. Do they have enough cards in grave? Yeah, they do. I mean, yeah, let's just swing in here. It's tough either way. Do we want to ship those cards for? Yeah, I guess we do. Like, any piece of instant speed removal would be greatly appreciated. Just 1 mana instant speed removal. Oh my god, we're so good at Magic. Look at that. Don't think I've played this game optimally, but it doesn't matter. We're going to shock their Light Paws in response to the Sentinel's Eyes being equipped. And that is going to be extremely brutal for them. Yeah, beautiful. Shock. And then we can mechanize warfare. No, they just concede. I think there was still a lot of game to be had, depending on what we top deck, because like we deal them 2 damage a turn with Rolling Vortex Mechanized Warfare, but not much else there. Their problem was that Light Paws was costing 6, so even if they play a land here and then play Light Paws, like, they can't just do that, because they just can't guarantee that they don't have a burn spell in hand. So at the very least, Light Paws stays out of play for 2 more turns, so Light Paws plus protection spell. But yeah, anyways, good game. We are ready to play against Inga and Essika. And yeah, that's a 4 toughness commander that we want to remove. Yeah, I like the Utgard Fury here. I like that we have a Managorger Phoenix that has basically, you know, an evasive 2-drop that enables our light up the stage. I like it. So Inga and Essika, new commander. It's basically 3-drop tribal, where you want to maximize the card draw, and the way you do that is play 3 drops. Anyways, we are going to lead on Ragavan. Obviously Ragavan is really not great against like a lot of small creatures, but that's why we, you know, have the evasive creature with Managorger Phoenix. And I think we just keep back. What is that? I'm very sorry. Anyways, no attacks. Yeah, we just keep it back because, like, no reason to just trade here. Like, they just have a ton of creatures anyways. I think we just want to get the Urabresk Forge going as fast as possible. So, swing with magic. Oh no, Tilt. Yeah, I was really supposed to play the Urabresk Forge pre-combat there. That was just like I mean, now we're missing out on 1 damage each turn, because now this could have been a 2 power creature next turn, then a 3 power creature next turn. Circle of Dreams Druid. Well, that just looks really threatening, doesn't it? I think we have to go Utgard Fury on Inga and Esika to stop their shenanigans. We have to attack in. And honestly, I hope that they block the Ragavan with the Circle of Dreams Druid. Yep, they don't. So that gives us a treasure. That means we can go land drop, light up the stage, and we really want to hit that burn spell. We did not hit that burn spell, sadly enough. So now we are in a world of pain. Like, maybe we were supposed to just hit the Circle of Dreams Druid with the Utgard Fury, but like at the same time, the mana they're not getting more mana from this. Like, it is more beneficial for us in the short term to kill Inga and Esika and let them replay that instead of killing the Circle of Dreams Druid. If that makes sense. Because, like, the Inga and Esika also just gives the other creatures the ability to tap for mana. But in the long term, Circle of Dreams Druid will be a real threat. I just think we're still in a like great position here, given that we can now attack in with the Ragavan. And Utgard, like, we can't pick off their dorks. And like they can't block with the commander because this says that damage cannot be isn't removed at cleanup steps. So I just like, we could have dealt like, I think we're losing like 4 damage, 5 damage over the course of the game at the very least by just missequencing this Urabrask Forge. These things are always like really annoying. So we have an Electrostatic Blast here. Nothing with haste, it seems. The Electrostatic Blast will definitely go to the Circle of Dreams Druid. We really want to deny them mana. That is the main thing we want. I don't think we are allowed to pump with the Rimrock Knight right now, given that our main goal is to take action, is to just deny them the mana here. So we target the Circle of Dreams Druid that, you know, probably gets countered. Doesn't. That's great for us, honestly. And I think we just can't let them like have the Risen Reef. So let's just Rents Resolve. Electrostatic Blast triggers. Hopefully we get a 1-drop. Oh yeah, that is a 1-drop. It's pretty great. We can play that right now. And then we get rid of the Risen Reef. Just deny them as much card draw as possible. Okay. Next turn we can go land, Robber of the Ridge, attack in with everything. That's, you know, pretty good. But they will just draw a ton of cards here. We can also, you know, still buff the Managorger Phoenix by 2 mana. Tashana. Yeah, great card in Inga and Esika. Draws them a ton of cards and is absolutely massive. I think we need a jump blocker for that, honestly. Yeah, I think at this point there is no point, like at least right now there is no point for us in attacking with Robber of the Ridge and the flipped Kumano faces Kakkazan, the etchings of Kumano, because we have to, you know, jump block. But jump blocking is quite efficient with an Utgard's Fury on the field. Okay. Land definitely is played. Robber of the Ridge definitely gets played. I think we're not going to dash Ragavan. So let's just swing in. And I think we definitely want to still like we keep back Egg-Chinks, but we probably want to keep we probably just want to attack with Robber. Okay. The Baron does deny them mana, but if they decide to like block the 3/1 here with Inga, okay. So we have a choice. The choice is build to smash to save Robber, or let Robber die to have 1 more mana later. And 1 more damage later. So they go down to 13. To 11. Yeah, I think we were valuing the 1 additional mana. And if they have a counterspell, that's like we can still remove their commander. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Sure. What denies them the most mana here? I think it's Inga and Esika, just because they have to play those again. Yep. Turn to hand. Oh, Baron Tree. Oh, that's so cool. Wow. They returned a card we control to our hand, which means the Baron triggered. And that is just amazing. Also, that is just amazing. This currently has 3 damage on it, so we can steal it and then it just dies. Or we can steal the commander for return. Make it so it can never block again. Very interesting. I think we have to just block the Tishana, no matter what we do. I'm just fearful that we just get destroyed by Crater of. Like, there is no world where we can play around Crater of Behemoth, basically. Absolutely no world. So we just don't. Okay, they have a 3/3 flyer for our Managorger Phoenix to block it. They decide to block the creatures. They could have also blocked the Managorger Phoenix with Stone Cold Certainty, but that, like, chump blocking it 2/2 with a 1/1 really doesn't feel great. I'm just wondering what they might have here. Yeah, just more large creatures. Again, like a lot of 3-drops. Exactly how I imagined this deck to be built. Man, like, all this damage we missed from the Rogue Braskforge. Anyways, land. Traumatic Prank. Force the action here by the opponent. Because... Sorry, that was me again. They probably just have to counter that. Okay. If they ever get to 5 cards in hand, Tishana dies. Okay. Oh! I just forgot about that. I'm very sorry. Question is, do we just swing in? Yeah, we of course we swing in with the Robber. Yeah, shouldn't have played the Rehilda. But like the damage sticks on these cards, so like if they block with their commander on this, then it's still just like, even if it's indestructible, we don't care. The damage still stays. So if, yeah. I think we're just supposed to like steal the Kakkazan Mammoth probably. Oh, are they doing that mistake? Oh, opponent, you don't want to do that. Definitely not, because like it doesn't die in my turn because it's still indestructible. But like then as soon as it is in their turn, the commander dies. What like? Yeah, I assume so. So the opponent would have been at like 2 here. Yeah, then like with a build to smash, I'm still quite comfortable that the build to smash was worse than the Rahilda, but I'm not sure at this point. Also, I'm not sure if this Tishana is ever going to die, to be perfectly honest. Migratory Greathorn, that is annoying. Yeah, no, we should have... So, if we played this correctly, the opponent would have been dead, because we could have pushed 3 damage with Build to Smash, and we would have had gotten more damage in with Utgard's Fury. At the very least, they would have had to make more blocks, right? So, it is what it is. We keep back Etchings and Rahilda. No point in attacking here, I believe. Let's see. But again, like, we just die to a Crater Hoof, and there is nothing we can do about it. Most burn spells to face will just be absurd in this spot. We can also just dash Ragavan, again, like, okay, that's a Muldrifter, sure. We do swing in every turn with a Managorger Phoenix, just purely because what happens if I do this? No, I think it's just good to like do that. In their end step, they have to discard to hand size, and then Tishana dies, which I quite like. Yeah, we didn't play this game correctly at all. I didn't pay attention. I'm always like, people sometimes ask me, hey, why don't you tilt? No, those are the things that tilt me, or at least really annoy me, if I lose the game because of a pretty, to me, obvious mistake that I made, right? Okay, well, that is an issue. Do we dash Ragavan or not is the question. Maybe we can cheese out a win with Urabrask Forge. Man, this is tough. So we are representing. Put a counter and then create, right? So it's 5, 7, 10, 14 damage. They have 10. I mean, they just. I mean, they would have to block with a lot of things, so maybe if they do it wrong, they just die. Shouldn't have played this land to conceal information. Dash. Swing in. If they're greedy, they just die here. So, let's see if they greed. I assume Greathorn blocks the 5-1. I mean, if their whole board dies, they also just don't have anything to attack us with, right? That's something you have to consider. Yep, that happens, sure. There's also a very real consideration to just kill Inga and Esika if they can't kill us on the backswing, because that just denies them all the card draw and mana in the world. Although, no, we are just dead from Kakkazan, Mammoth, Llanowar, Fibblethip if they were swinging. Yeah. No, we are just dead. Yeah, they probably just have counter magic as well. So we missed our opportunity to win this game. But that's fine. We'll get it next time. GG! We are ready to play against Kaya, Intangible Slayer. Which should be a decent matchup. I think we can do better. So, this has everything we can, like, we want to do, like 1-drop, 2-drop, but like any generic hand has like decent 2-drop, like decent 3-drop, and 1-drop is in our command zone. Build to smash is something we really don't want in our opening hand against control. Like maybe draw it later for a bit of additional damage, but that's about it. Traumatic Prank is pretty dead in the matchup, and Reckless Impulse is obviously a decent card, but like, we can just mull. Very interesting. Opponent going first means that our Ragavan will likely die. Just putting that out there. And Molten Impact probably, like, yeah, also probably not a great card here. Yeah, let's mull to 6. Also don't like that hand. Yeah, I like that quite a bit more. Incendiary Flow, goodbye. I mean, honestly, the cards we really want are the ones like Urabrask's Forge, right? Where we just go ahead and oh, that's an amazing top deck actually. Urabrask's Forge, we would just like proactively ramp up damage. Ragavan dies here, that is fine. Okay. We are just going to play in Earthshaker Khenra, swing in. Then the question is, do we want to play an Ahn-Crop Crasher, or do we want to swing in with Ragavan? Do we just, well, no, just play Ragavan? Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Yeah, I think just like play Ragavan. And then the opponent just can't commit the Murderous Rider to the board because we will just Lightning Strike it. That's exactly what's happening, which I quite enjoy. So Lightning Strike plus Mutavault activation is the same as Lightning's... Okay, they just concede because they see the Lightning Strike line. Well, I guess. But I think this is like... These kinds of decisions are really like... really interesting in Mono, right? Because we have 3 different lines of play we can make. First line of play. Lightning Strike, Murderous Rider, activate Mutavault, swing in for 4 damage, create a treasure. This has the upside of that we still hold the Monastery Swiftspear in hand if they have a board wipe, and we still have 1 additional treasure lying around to work towards this Earthshaker Khenra Eternalize ability. Second line of play is the same, but instead of animating Mutavault, we are going to play Swiftspear Lightning Strike. Crashes in for the same amount of damage, but we have 1 more permanent in play, which is slightly worse against a board wipe. But if they would board wipe this board, then I think I would be happy with that. So I think that would have been a slightly better line. It's also a bit more mana efficient, and if we get something off the top that costs 2 mana, we can actually play that because we have 2 excess mana. And then the last line of play would just be Ahn-Crop Crasher, exert so the Murderous Rider can't block, swing with these 2, that's 5 damage, and then we Lightning Strike, but that also uses up our treasure. And then we're a bit further away from the Earthshaker Khenra again. So I think I would have went with Monastery Swiftspear Lightning Strike. I think. Anyways, GG. We are ready to play against Edgar Charmed Groom. We go first. This whole hand is relying on, do I value Mechanized Warfare in this kind of matchup or not? I think I value Mechanized Warfare in most matchups very highly. So let's keep it. We're on the play. Turn 1 Monkey, turn 2 Phoenix. Like, just Bloodfeather Phoenix is also just absurd as a card. Just like, it's so good. Connect with the monkey. Callous Blood Mage. No thanks, I'd rather have a Feather Phoenix in play. No, but like the new Phoenix here, Bloodfeather Phoenix is just so strong. 2 mana, 2/2 flying, right? playable. And then whenever an instant or sorcery we control deals damage to an opponent or battle, we can just pay 1 and bring it back with haste. That's so nutty. Interesting. The most damage over the long term, like just say opponent does nothing, is Laelia. I really like to play Laelia a bit later though, as a standalone threat after a board wipe, and then when we don't have to make a land drop, because I don't want to spend this treasure here. So we can play the Mechanized Warfare or the Tomahawk Phoenix. Both are fine, and are the same damage this turn, because this deals 2 additional and this deals 2 additional. But Mechanized Warfare is better, because then we don't commit the creature to the board. Don't play into a board wipe. I think we want to play this Legion's Landing here as a 1/1. We can flip that. That seems pretty good. And if they board wipe here, we can then commit with the Laelia. Wedding Announcement is a decent card. Okay. Choice. Laelia versus Tomahawk Phoenix. We do, like, again, if they have a board wipe, playing Tomahawk Phoenix is better than Laelia in this spot. But at the same time, they will always have blockers for Laelia, so might as well just swing in to get additional card advantage right now. So let's do that. We flip Legion's Landing, which is a pretty great. That's sadly a sorcery, otherwise I would have pinged the 1/1 at instant speed. And here is an interesting question. Do we commit the Cemetery Gatekeeper to the board? I think not. That is what I would call, personally, over-committing. So we're going to use... We haven't made a land drop yet. The cards from Laelia just go away. So I really want to use this mana here. Put to the command zone. So we start on Reckless Impulse. If we get a land, we play that land. Then we can Pillar. That didn't happen, so Pillar of Flame, you go down to 6. And that's pretty good. And then next turn we can just play these creatures, commit to the board, and we're going to be happy. Also, Frenzied Geistblaster discarding Tomahawk Phoenix is huge value, because Tomahawk Phoenix has 2 powers, so it doesn't matter if the first time you cast it, it's 3 mana from hand, or just, since it only has 2 power, it's also 3 mana from graveyard. So this is just really good synergy, which is pretty great. I mean, in general, the opponent is pretty toast. There are very, very few cards that can get them out of this, considering that we just have still so much more damage available. A land would be literally the best top deck, because that would allow us to Frenzied Geistblaster, discard Phoenix, attack, play Swiftspear, play land, reanimate Phoenix, swing in. And that would be 1 damage of lethal, actually, just on its own. And so that happens. And I think we just go for lethal here. So let me calculate. So this puts them down to 4. We swing in. They go back to 6 with the block here. They block here. They're at 1, I think, which is not 0, so we have to be careful. They're at 1, which is not 0. That cancels out this, this 1, 2. Yeah, they are at 1. Let's put them to 1. Honestly, let's just do it. Prowess. Kumano faces Kakkazan. I'll let the value go away here. Oh, it's each. Okay, no, that is amazing, because that also just allows us to yeah, it's each opponent and each planeswalker. Yeah, it's so rare that I usually played this on turn 1. But damn, that was really relevant, because that also just killed a Sorin, because that was on 2 loyalty. Did they make the wrong blocks? Yeah, they just didn't... Huh? What happened? Anyways, I will see it in replay. See ya. We are done with the games. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did. And that is Ragavan, Nimble, Pilferer in Historic Brawl, and the deck is amazing. I mean, what can I say? The deck is really, really strong. Only 1 loss so far in total with all my games played, around about 20, I think. And that was against Inga, and I could have won that. Well, Inga and Essica. And I definitely could have won that game, but I wasn't paying attention and missequenced and lost a lot of damage because of it. Anyways, Ragavan. Yeah, he's here to stay. And usually Mono Red is regarded as a really solid budget option in 60 card formats. That is not true in Historic Brawl, because if you look at it, you're looking at over 40 rares and mythics in this list alone. The first thing you can obviously cut if you play this deck on a budget is just replace all of these utility lands with mountains. Simple as that. Second of all, oh, by the way, even if you don't run Faceless Haven, still run Snowlands in case you get Snow Synergy cards from Ragavan. Just a little tip. Second of all, you want the good cards. Most of the cards are good, right? Like, I don't think you need this. Honestly, you can cut the 1-drops. Like, the 1-drops we play are really good, but at the same time, you can just rely on always playing your commander on turn 1. These just give you a little bit of additional flexibility, right? But you want to have strong proactive plays, and most of these cards are strong proactive plays. But the issue is, like, you don't need any specific card here, to be perfectly honest. Like, you don't even need a Lightning Bolt. Honestly, like, Lightning Bolt is not even the first or second card I would craft for this deck, because, like, if you're missing the, like, strong creatures or, like, cards like Urabrask Forge, then you're going to have a harder time than if you're missing Lightning Bolt, because you need continuous damage output in this deck. And then once your continuous damage output reaches a critical mass, then you shoot them with burn spells, right? But if you don't have the continuous damage output, you're never going to get there with burn spells alone. Just a little side note. But this is a critical mass deck. So you don't need any single card necessarily in this deck. It's just the critical mass of all of the cards combined is what makes this deck good. So just craft, like, you don't really need these. I think, like, I mean, Molten Impact you also don't need, but it is tech against Ragavan and Atraxa, which I expect to be more and more popular the upcoming days. It's quite early in the set right now, so not many people play them. But just craft the card you always wanted to craft from here. Maybe you want to craft an Eidolon of the Great Revel, because that card you actually cannot pull from packs, so that is craft only, so I mean that's not a bad card to craft. And you probably also want to lean more into cards that are not in standard, because the reward system in Arena gives you only really packs that are standard legal, and the golden packs also give you only standard cards. So, for Historic Brawl deck building, what ends up happening is you only care about the first copy. So you want to spend all your wildcards on cards you cannot open from packs anymore, because that way you still have a chance to get a, you know, what's it called? Any of these cards that are legal and standard right now, like Rada's Firebrand, right? Or like Feldon is a really good example. Like, that's a really good mono red card, but since it's currently legal and standard, you could just open it in a pack or golden pack at any point, and then you're sad that you crafted it, and that is not going to happen with a Lightning Bolt or a Managorger Phoenix or a Goblin Chainwhirler. So craft the cards that are not in standard. Craft the cards that you always wanted to play for other decks. You don't need the lands, you don't need these really, like, put these way behind in your priority list of crafting, and you should be good to go. Anyways, that was Ragavan Nimble Pilferer in Historic Brawl. I think a really competitive commander, one of the best commanders in the whole format, competitively speaking. And yeah, I will see you in the next video.